Ever forgotten to do something? I have. You have. And unfortunately, God's children, the children of Abraham, forgot to do something. Literally, they forgot what it meant to be in a relationship with Him. They forgot what it meant to worship Him. They forgot what it meant to live with each other. They forgot what it meant to be the people of God. See what happens to them.
Welcome to session 7, where we're going to look at the 7th book of the Bible, specifically the book of Judges. The book of Judges is an interesting book because it marks this shift in God's relationship to the people of Israel. Joshua dies. We hear that account early in the book of Judges. And then God begins to raise up judges. Now, it's important to understand for this book to make sense why that happens. Judges is patterned after an interesting cycle that we see over and over and over and over again, sometimes very explicitly and sometimes a little more subtly, but the pattern is there nonetheless. See, we can look at the story of Deborah, this judge, or Gideon, or the very well-known story of Samson. But in all of these stories, the pattern is this. The pattern is God's people rebel against Him. They decide they know better. They want to do their own thing, kind of taking us back to the Garden of Eden where Adam and Eve first rebelled against God. They rebel against God, and then God sends a foreign invader, a conqueror, to come and oppress His people. Yes, God causes His people to be oppressed. And they cry out to God in the midst of their oppression. God, deliver us, we're sorry. And then God raises up a judge to rescue His people and bring them back to Him. Some of these judges do spectacular things, like Samson, who pulls an entire building down on himself and on his captors. God uses these judges to deliver His people from oppression and point them back to God, and then the pattern recycles. This week, this session, rather than looking at all of the judges and trying to discern out this pattern, I thought it would be appropriate to show us a real clear-cut example of this pattern of rebellion and oppression, of crying out to God and being delivered through a judge. So grab your Bibles. Today we are going to go to Judges chapter 3. It's the story of Othniel. Yep, weird name, I know. But Othniel is one of these judges. Here's what Judges chapter 3 says. And the people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. They forgot the Lord their God and served the Baals and the Asheroth. There's that step 1, rebellion. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and He sold them into the hand of Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the people of Israel served Cushan-Rishathaim 8 years. And there's oppression. But when the people of Israel cried out to the Lord, there's the crying for deliverance, the turning back. When they cried out to the Lord raised up a deliverer for the people of Israel who saved them. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. The Spirit of the Lord was upon him, and he judged Israel. He went out to war, and the Lord gave Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed over Cushan-Rishathaim. So the land had rest for 40 years. Then Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. And we see the pattern start over. So here's the question. What does it mean to rebel? What does it mean to face oppression that even the Lord may cause? How do we cry out for help? God, we're sorry. And how do we celebrate His deliverance for us on an ongoing basis? Maybe not from a foreign oppressor, but from sin, but from our human state of rebellion against him. That's the pattern of Judges. That's the pattern of our life as well.
This week, we ask that you once again look into your life and distinguish how you rebel against a God who loves you. We ask that you take that time as a family, even though maybe you've done it many times before. Take the time to figure out how you rebel instead of worship. And then we ask that you again turn a corner to decide to worship God instead of going against what he wants for you. Enjoy your family time together.